Hey Puppy Trades! I wanted to do a video analysis update of the S&P 500 and Bitcoin. So we're going to go over a few tickers in this video, but it's important to remember we're just trying to figure out where will SPY go and where will Bitcoin go, because I think in the short term they may be offering setups if we get the opportunity. So let's look at Apple real quick. What did Apple do today? And what did people think Apple was going to do a month ago? I think that's an important question to answer. So about a month ago, a lot of people thought that Apple had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse from this peak. And so what they were looking for, what the Elliott wave theorist bears were looking for, was that Apple was completing a wave A, and then we were going to clone the length of wave A. We were going to place it at the wave B high, and that was going to put in a wave C target of about 110 essentially. So what the bears thought was that Apple had a 5 waves impulse from the peak to form wave A. It was having a counter trend rally at 137 to complete wave B. So they were looking for 137 to hold and for Apple to go on a wave C leg down to 110. So they were looking for a 5, 3, 5 Elliott wave flat. Okay, they were looking for more downside for Apple. They were expecting Apple was not going to break above 137. Okay, today Apple did break above 137. We're going to talk about what that means. But first, we're going to talk about trading the market as a whole and why we thought it was kind of silly for the primary expectation to be that Apple was going to go on another leg down to below 110. So what were we saying about Apple, right? Well, we were looking at Apple, but we weren't just looking at Apple, right? That's a mistake a lot of people make. If you look at what we were talking about on May 23rd, we said that Apple had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 large degree wave 1 and an ABC correction to put in a large degree wave 2 at the 61.8% retracement. So we said if we were above the 78.6% retracement with 116, the beginning of wave 1 acting as the invalidation level, we were looking for Apple to go the length of wave 1, place at the wave 2 low, and reach very conservatively 143, but that the textbook wave 3 target was going to be the 161.8% extension of wave 1, which was 149. Okay, we said even then that wouldn't be the top. We'd have a shallow wave 4 correction. We go on a 5th wave higher. But we weren't just looking at Apple. Microsoft had an identical count. It had another wave 1 and a wave 2 at the 61.8% retracement. So we said Microsoft, at the very minimum, would go the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low. And no matter how you counted it, Microsoft had more upside. We said Nvidia and Amazon were also really good evidence. We said Amazon, to the date, looked identical to Apple. It had a large wave 1 that was cleanly subdivided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to complete a wave 1. Then it had an ABC correction to put in a wave 2 low at the 61.8% retracement. So we said Amazon, like Apple, would go the length of wave 1, place at the wave 2 low, and go to at least 3,800 for a conservative wave 3 target. That's looking good. What we were also saying was that Nvidia was acting as a leading indicator. It had a wave 1, an ABC correction put in a wave 2 low at the 61.8% retracement. It broke this downtrend line after the 61.8% retracement and started having this impulsive gap higher. And we had a lot of evidence this wave 3 is in progress. And then Nvidia actually broke above this high weeks ago, right? So if you were still looking for Apple to go on, another wave down to 110, and you ignored Nvidia breaking above this new high, then you weren't listening to the stock market. And if you were still looking for Apple to go 5 waves lower to 110 after Microsoft broke above this high, then you weren't listening to the stock market. Even the NASDAQ broke above this high, and people were still looking for more downside for Apple. Okay, so that's why you have to trade the stock market as a whole. That's why this video, we want to know where SPY is going. We want to know where Bitcoin is going. And we're going to help answer that question with the help of some special guests across the market. So Apple, I believe, is going to be one of those pieces of evidence for SPY bulls. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low, at the very minimum, will take Apple to 143. But the textbook wave 3 target is 149. That wouldn't be the top. we would have a shallow wave 4 correction and expect a wave 5 higher that would be at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. So if wave 3 topped at exactly 149, we would expect a shallow wave 4 correction between the 38.2 and the 23.6% retracement. We would expect Apple to go the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low, and at the very minimum, it would reach 160. If wave 4 ended at the 23.6% retracement, the very minimum wave 5 target would be as high as 165. So right then and there, we have a lot of evidence. Apple's going to go to 149. Even that wouldn't be the top. We'd have a shallow wave 4 correction before a fifth wave took Apple to at least 160. So with just that information, we shouldn't be calling for the stock market to crash. So let's look at the Dow Jones ETF DIA, and let's look at Disney. Then we'll get into the SPY count. We'll get really nitty gritty and break down the SPY count. It's very similar to the Dow Jones ETF DIA. It has a large wave 1, very cleanly subdivided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. It has an A, B, C correction to put in a large degree wave 2, and it should go the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, for a conservative wave 3 target of 372. So 372 is the minimum, keyword minimum wave 3 target, because in Elliott wave theory, wave 3 is stronger and faster than the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. So 372 is the destination for the Dow Jones. The path on the smaller degree are these black numbers, right? How are we going to get there? We know we're going to 372. We want to figure out how are we going to get there. So on the Dow Jones ETF DIA, the path is very clear. We have a wave 1 and a wave 2. We have a large wave 3 impulse that passes the 161.8% extension of wave 1, and it passes the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. So this satisfies all the requirements of a wave 3 that has ended, and we are now looking at a wave 4 correction, an A, B, C wave 4 correction that is ending at the 38.2% retracement. So if we hold above 331 with the 50% retracement acting as the invalidation for a wave 4 of 324, the primary expectation for the general overall stock market is that the Dow Jones ETF DIA will go the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low, and it will reach 383 in the next 2.5 months. Okay, so what's in 2.5 months? In 2.5 months, we're going to end the third quarter, and we're going to enter September, which is one of the most bearish months in the stock market for that September quad witching. So we have the writing on the wall right now, regardless of where the S&P 500 goes, that we should expect a lot more upside in the Dow Jones, but we should also be on the lookout for, by the end of August, early September, that this wave 5 is going to end at 383, and that we should be looking for that cycle to be corrected right around the time of the September quad witching. Okay, another stock that has a very similar message is Disney. So Disney is another great example of a stock that has a wave 1, 2, 3, 4. We're looking for a wave 5 to take 2.5 months. So the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low will take Disney to 216 in about 2.5 months. So if we wake up at the end of August and Disney's at 216 and the Dow Jones ETF DIA is at 383, we need to be on the lookout for this cycle to be corrected. Now, I've mentioned about Disney the idea of having a generational buying opportunity when this 5 waves impulse is corrected. So I got asked, what's kind of the buy zone? Okay, and this is where it's really important to understand the weaknesses and strengths of Elliott wave theory. In Elliott wave theory, you only trade the impulsive waves. Okay, the impulsive waves are waves 1, 3, and 5. They are the waves that are subdivided into 5 smaller waves. So you can see this wave 3 is subdivided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. And this large wave 1 is going to be subdivided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. You only trade the impulse waves. The only way to prepare for a wave 2 or wave 4 correction is to have cash ready to buy the counter trend, in this case dip, and buy the next impulse structure higher. So if Disney had a wave 5 top at exactly 216, that would complete a larger degree wave 1. We'd be looking for an ABC correction to buy a generational wave 2 buying opportunity between the 61.8 and 50% retracement, which would be between 131 to 147. So what a lot of people are going to say is, puppy trades, why don't I just load up the puts when Disney hits 216? If you did that, you would be trading a corrective wave, which is a very dangerous thing to do. This is why the impulse waves in Elliott wave theory can extend. That's why I always give the conservative target and acknowledge that extension beyond that is very possible, if not likely. So what if wave 5 takes Disney all the way to 230? And that's where the large degree wave 1 ends. Well, then the 61.8 to 50% retracement zone for this wave 2 would be higher. We wouldn't be looking for, a buying opportunity at 131. It would be 136 to 154. Okay, so Disney's another one where 2.5 months from now, the writing's on the wall that this wave 5 will end, and we can already see a situation where we're waking up right before September quad witching, looking for a 5 waves rally to be corrected, not only in Disney, but also in the Dow Jones ETF DIA, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 large degree rally would be, corrected right around the time of the September quad witching. Okay, so the last thing I want to point out about the Dow Jones ETF DIA, the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low gives a conservative target of 371, and on the smaller degree count, the path, we have evidence that will be conservative. Wave 5 will actually go past that and go all the way to 383. So let's look at the S&P 500. Okay, we're going to look at SPY, and we're also going to look at the SPY futures, because there are two paths right now on these charts, but they both lead to 460. Okay, I can't stress this enough. The large wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low gives a destination for the S&P 500 SPY of 460. 460 is the target, and it has been the target since the election. Okay, we've had 460 on our radar since SPY was down here. This is a large wave 1 subdivided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. This is an ABC correction to put in a large degree wave 2. The minimum large degree wave 3 target is the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low, and that would take SPY to, at the very minimum, 460. In the same way the Dow Jones ETF DIA, at the very minimum, will go to 372. So let's look right now. What if we decided that we were going to count the S&P 500 the exact same way that we counted SPY? Well, we would say that wave 3 from the wave 2 low, right? So this red wave 2 is the larger degree target. We would say, just like the Dow Jones ETF DIA, remember, so on the larger degree path, this is wave 1, this is wave 2. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low gives a large degree wave 3 target of 460. Okay, that's established. Now we're looking for the path, right? What's the path? How are we going to get there? Let's say that we want to count the S&P 500 the exact same way that we count the Dow Jones ETF DIA. We would say that this is wave 1 and wave 2, and that wave 3 ended at either this high or this high. Okay, so let's say we want to count it just like the Dow Jones ETF DIA, and it looks something like this. Wave 3 ends right here at this high of about 422, and then wave 4 ends right here at this low of 404. Well, then we would be looking for the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low to take SPY to 469 by the end of this quarter. Okay, that would line up exactly with the count of the Dow Jones ETF DIA, where the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low will take the Dow Jones ETF DIA to 383, and that would be identical to what we have for SPY, where the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low will take SPY to 469, provided that 404 holds as the low. So I think it's important right now to establish the invalidation level for the S&P 500 projection is 404. The stop loss level is 414. Okay, and this is not really the primary projection, but I think it's important not to be robotic. Okay, if this is what we have for the Dow Jones ETF DIA, we can't get caught off guard if SPY does the same thing. Now, what's the problem with calling this a wave 3? The problem with calling this a completed wave 3 is this. The length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, has not yet been reached for the S&P 500, and it has been reached for the Dow Jones ETF DIA. Right? So on the Dow Jones ETF DIA, the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, has been passed. Okay? For the S&P 500 SPY, the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, has not yet been reached. So I don't want to call this a completed wave 3, but if we did, and we said that this was a completed wave 3, the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low, as long as 404 held, with 414 acting as the stop, would take SPY to 469. Okay, there's only really one instance in Elliott wave theory where wave 3 can be shorter than the length of wave 1, and that's in the instance of a leading diagonal or an ending diagonal. But in general, you want to have wave 3 be larger than the length of wave 1. Okay, so what I've done on the S&P 500 futures is I've really gone by the book. Okay, and it's important to realize right now that the Dow Jones ETF DIA could very well be acting as our template. Okay, we don't need to look at SPY. We know the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low. If 331 holds, we'll take the Dow Jones ETF DIA to 383. Okay, we know that Apple is on a path right now in the tech side of the market that it's going to go all the way to 149, have a shallow wave 4 correction, and reach at least 160. And we know that Amazon right now is very likely, pretty soon going to break above this wave 1 high, just like Apple, and at the very minimum, go the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low. Okay, we don't need to be robotic. We have the rest of the market charted. But if we look at the S&P 500 right now, on the SPY futures, I've marked it up, and there's kind of another path to 460 that would actually go beyond 460. Okay, so the destination is the same. This is a wave 1 in red. The length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, will take the S&P 500 futures SPY to 460. Okay, that hasn't changed. We're still looking for a minimum wave 3 target to be the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low. So here's the only thing that's different. Okay, on the Dow Jones ETF DIA, we believe that wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3 has been completed. Because the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, has not yet been reached on the S&P 500, I believe that this wave 3 in black is still in progress. So in my prior videos, what we were looking for in the very minimum was that this little black wave 5 would be at least the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low. Okay, we were using this as a minimum target to take SPY to 430 because people thought the market was going to crash. Okay, so I was using this as evidence. Hey, when SPY was at 411, the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low, at the very minimum, will take SPY on another leg higher. Okay, we've broken above this high. And right now, I don't believe that the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low, is going to be where wave 5 ends. Okay, I believe that the S&P 500 is still within this black wave 3. So this is wave 1 of wave 3. This is wave 2 of wave 3. This is wave 3 of wave 3. And this is wave 4 of wave 3. So we need to figure out how big will wave 5 of wave 3 be. Okay, I believe in this instance, the S&P 500 will be the length of wave 3, placed at the wave 4 low, and that will take it to 454 on SPY. So the length of wave 3, placed at the wave 4 low, is where I believe this wave 5 of wave 3 is going to end. Okay, it's important to note that would be wave 5 of wave 3, we'd have a shallow wave 4 correction, and we'd be looking for a 5th wave higher. So even in this situation where we go to 454 and have a pullback, we're still not finished to the upside until we reach 460. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Another way to count, to find the wave 5 target is to take the negative 123.6% retracement of wave 4. So the inverted retracement is found. You can go to your Fibonacci retracement tools. You take the negative 123.6% retracement of wave 4. So you're using the depth of the wave 4 correction to measure the wave 5 target. The negative 123.6% retracement of this wave 4 for the S&P 500 is 448. That's almost identical to the length of wave 3 placed at the wave 4 low. So right now, my primary projection for the S&P 500 is that we will hold above 414 with 404 acting as the invalidation level, and we will go on a wave 5 higher to at least 448 to 454. In that situation, that would not be the top. We would have a shallow wave 4 correction, and we would look for a 5th wave higher. So assuming that this black wave 3 ended at 448 to 454, that wouldn't be the top. We would have a shallow wave 4 correction and then go on a 5th wave higher. I believe this would complete a black wave 4. We would be looking for a 5th wave higher that would be at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low, potentially taking the S&P 500 further down the line as high as 495 for SPY to around 484, depending on where this black wave 4 ends. Okay, because the black wave 4 is going to end between the 23.6 and the 38.2% retracement. So the bottom line, I want to see 414 hold for now. The invalidation level is 404. If those levels hold, I expect the S&P 500 is going to go to 460 at the very minimum. One path to get there would be the exact same as the Dow Jones. Wave 3 has ended. This is wave 4. It's also ended. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. Take SPY on a direct route to 469. Then we're looking to correct that cycle. Okay, that would satisfy the minimum wave 3 requirement on the larger degree being the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. The other path past 460 would be that SPY is still within this black wave 3 of the larger degree wave 3. Wave 5 of wave 3 would take SPY to 448 to 454. We'd have a shallow wave 4 correction, and we go on a 5th wave higher. And in this scenario, this red wave 3 would be very, very extended, okay, which is certainly possible, certainly likely that wave 3 will be much larger than the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low, okay? That's why I think it's right now important to use the Dow Jones ETF DIA instead of the S&P 500 because it's a much cleaner count. The length of wave 1 placed at this wave 4 low will take SPY to 383 towards the end of this quarter. And then regardless of where SPY is, we're looking for a pretty bearish quad witching, which would line up with what we see on Disney and what we see in a lot of these airline stocks even, where we complete a 5th wave higher, then have an ABC correction once the quarter ends. Okay, so that's my primary projection. I think it's important right now not to be robotic, okay? Yes, in a perfect world, wave 3 would pass the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low, and it would look just like the Dow Jones ETF DIA, okay? I think it's important not to be robotic. It's important to have in the back of our mind that this may just be a short wave 3. We have a shallow wave 4 correction, and the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low will take SPY to 469 during the exact same time the Dow Jones ETF DIA is going to 383. So the target is always and has always been 460. I've just laid out 2 paths how we're going to get there. Okay, But that's why I believe the Dow Jones ETF DIA will serve as a better guide. If it holds above 331 by the end of the quarter, we're looking for a fifth wave higher to 383. And I think even a lot of these big tech stocks are giving us a lot of evidence right now of everything we need to know. Apple will go to 149, have a shallow wave 4 correction, and go on a wave 5 to the 160s. Amazon, at the very minimum, is going to go the length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low, and go as high as, at the minimum, 3,800 for a conservative wave 3 target, have a shallow wave 4, and go on a fifth wave higher. And I even think the NASDAQ QQQ is giving us a very clean view of the market, where just like NVIDIA, we have a wave 1 and a wave 2 end at the 61.8% retracement. So this was wave 1, this is wave 2. Wave 3, the minimum target has been met. I believe we're actually going to go further than that. We're going to go all the way to the 161.8% extension of wave 1, which would be 364. We'd have a shallow wave 4 correction, and we go on a fifth wave higher. So I think in this scenario, it would look something like this. This is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 goes all the way to 364 for the NASDAQ. We have a shallow wave 4 correction, and we go on a fifth wave higher. So normally, if I have all this evidence across the market, I wouldn't really care where SPY is going to go. But I think actually that SPY might be offering a nice opportunity in the short term if we had some type of retest of this wave 3 high, which I'm not projecting will happen. But if we did get a dip to say 424, 425, we retested this wave 3 high, I think SPY would be a nice setup where there would be a stop below 414, and we would be looking to go on this, this next leg higher to around 448 to 454. So that's the S&P 500. Let's talk about Bitcoin really quick. If we look at Bitcoin, I think this is another one like SPY that is offering a nice opportunity. And we also have a lot of evidence across the stock market that it's going to do well. So this is my primary view of Bitcoin. This is a wave 1. We have an A, B, C correction. We put in a wave 2 low. The length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low, will take Bitcoin all the way to 90,000. We'd have a shallow wave 4 correction. We go on a fifth wave higher. For Bitcoin and Ethereum, we want to see the 61.8% retracement hold, which is 27K for Bitcoin. Okay, if that level broke, that wouldn't be the end of the world for bulls, but that would be a dangerous level to trade below, because the next place for a wave 2 to end would be the 78.6% retracement, almost all the way down at 17K. Okay, I actually don't believe that Bitcoin will go below 27K. Okay, I think that Bitcoin is going to hold the 61.8% retracement, and I believe it will go the length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low, and pretty conservatively within the first quarter of 2022, go on this minimum wave 3 higher to 90,000. It's important to note that wouldn't be the top. That would be the conservative minimum wave 3 target. We would have a shallow wave 4 correction and be looking for a fifth wave higher. There would be at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. That would take Bitcoin as high as 126K. Now, we have a little interesting information in these two pictures. The first thing I want to show, this is from the bar chart straddle and strangle screener from last night. Okay, Marathon Patent Group has been on this for a little bit, and it's extremely important, especially for crypto, that you use the miners to help guide your decision making, because we have a lot of information from the options market on the miners, and it's much harder to get information from Bitcoin and Ethereum options on futures. Okay, but we have a lot of evidence right now from the miners that they're ready for a large move. Marathon Patent Group, you guys know I love this screener. It's not a magic screener, but we have the evidence. If you show up on this screener, you are going to have a large move. It's up to us as technical analysts and wave theorists to figure out, will that move be to the upside? Will it be to the downside? I just want to show Marathon Patent Group has been on the screener for a little bit. This is from last night. The options market is telling you Marathon Patent Group is about to have a large move. Okay, the wave theory is telling us that's going to be to the upside. Here's another thing. This is the ratio chart. So we used one of these with Tesla in my last video. I just want to show this is Bitcoin in comparison to how it performs to the S&P 500. So this is the Bitcoin as a ratio to SPY's performance. Okay, we have a nice little channel here in green, and we're kind of on the lower bound of this channel. I believe we also, from a wave theory standpoint and a classical trading standpoint, we kind of form a wave 1, the first leg of a bull flag, have a wave 2 low, and now we're breaking out and back testing this bull flag, and we're about to head higher on this ratio chart, which indicates that Bitcoin is about to begin to outperform the S&P 500 again. Okay, and I believe that's going to happen, that we will see Bitcoin begin to outperform the S&P 500 very quickly. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. The length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low, will take Bitcoin to 90K for a conservative wave 3 target. We'll have a shallow wave 4. We'll go on a 5th wave higher. Now, we don't ever just want to look at Bitcoin, just like we don't ever want to look at the S&P 500. Okay, this is Ethereum. It's another one where we have a wave 1 and a wave 2. The length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low, which is exactly where Ethereum is wicking right now, will take Ethereum all the way to 6,000. I believe this will be hit in the first quarter of 2022 conservatively. We'll have a shallow wave 4 correction. We'll go on a 5th wave higher. Ethereum, like Bitcoin, we don't want to see below the 61.8% retracement, not because that would be the end of the world, but because the 78.6% retracement is a little steep drop from there. I don't believe it's going to be hit, and here is why. First, let's make sure that Ethereum, the length of wave 1, place of this wave 2 low, if we're above 1720, we'll go to 6,000. I believe that happens in the first quarter of 2022, and I believe that's very conservative. We'll have a shallow wave 4 correction, go on a wave 5 higher. I've got Ethereum going to the 8,000 range for this 5th wave higher at the very minimum. So yes, I do think this is an opportunity, but it's cryptocurrency, okay? These are very volatile instruments. That's going to bring us to some of these altcoins, because the altcoins are giving us a lot of evidence right now. We entered this year with Litecoin as a lot of evidence that it was incomplete until it went at the very minimum above this high, but really all the way to the median of this pitchfork. So we came into this year when Litecoin was kind of in this range, saying we're looking for a lot more upside. We're looking for Litecoin to break this high, and it has, right? If you're looking objectively at crypto, this is a huge base, and Litecoin is broken above this high. Is it possible that this is a double top? Sure. Is that the most likely scenario? Absolutely not. This is a wave 1 and a wave 2. We have another wave 1 and another wave 2. Let's look at the median of this pitchfork reaction on the weekly chart. It's very beautiful. So in Elliott wave theory, you can combine it with the pitchforks by taking the beginning of wave 1, connecting it with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2. That gives you your wave 3 target. The median likely will be reached for that wave 3 target. So if we connect the beginning of wave 1 with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2, Litecoin, like Ripple, has a gorgeous reaction on the median of this pitchfork. And then, right, we get away from this pitchfork, right, puppy trades, pitchforks don't work, boom. Huge rally to the lower bound of this pitchfork. We have a lot of confirmation that this pitchfork is very valid and that we are going to reach the median of this pitchfork in the future. So this is wave 1 and wave 2. Look at where Litecoin is wicking, because it's the same as Dogecoin and Stellar Lumens. That this is a wave 1 and a wave 2. The length of wave 1, place of the wave 2 low, will take Litecoin with Ethereum with Bitcoin to 495. I think this is an interesting opportunity in crypto, where if Litecoin holds above 105 with, the 78.6% retracement, we also want to see that hold. So if Litecoin's above 105 to about 107, I believe wave 2 is in. The length of wave 1, place of this wave 2 low, will take Litecoin to 495 conservatively in the first quarter of 2022. That would be the conservative wave 3 target. We'll have a shallow wave 4 correction and a 5th wave higher that would be at least the length of wave 1. So I believe there's a path right in front of us that takes Litecoin as high as 800 in the bigger term picture. So that's Litecoin. Now, these two, I hope I'm not the first one to tell you that Dogecoin and Stellar Lumens are extremely risky. But they're also important pieces to the crypto puzzle. This is a wave 1 for Dogecoin and an ABC correction putting in a wave 2 low at the 78.6% retracement. I believe this is wave 1, this is wave 2. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low will take Dogecoin to 89 cents for a conservative wave 3 target. I believe this will happen in the first quarter of 2022 conservatively. We'll have a shallow wave 4 correction. We'll go on a fifth wave higher to about 1.46, $1.46 for Dogecoin for this, eventual wave 5 target. Okay, Dogecoin is extremely risky. This is, I've never talked about something with a higher beta than Dogecoin ever, but I think it's an important piece to the crypto puzzle. Gun to my head, I think Litecoin would be, the better routes, to be honest, just so you can sleep at night, or just so I can sleep at night. I actually like the miners the best, but the length of wave 1 placed at this wave 2 low will take Dogecoin to about 89 cents. And I think if it holds above the 78.6% retracement of 15 cents, then wave 2 is in. And this is kind of a lot of evidence, Dogecoin as well as Stellar Lumens, that a lot of these altcoins are bottoming, okay? A lot of these altcoins are bottoming at the 78.6% retracement. Stellar Lumens, the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. If it holds above 19 cents, we'll go all the way on a wave 3 higher to 97 cents. Okay, I believe that is going to be hit in the first quarter of 2022, provided that 19 cents holds as the low. So across the market, Litecoin, Stellar Lumens, Dogecoin, as well as Ethereum Classic, we're starting to see reactions at the 78.6% retracement. So Ethereum Classic, we've actually seen a pretty nice reaction at the 78.6% retracement. Not sure I would chase here, because Litecoin hasn't really moved yet. Ethereum and Bitcoin haven't really moved yet. But I believe Ethereum Classic is another one. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low will take it on a wave 3 higher to 195. Now, look, this is exactly where wave 2 wicks, and we get this pretty nice reversal at the 78.6% retracement. Dogecoin and Stellar Lumens and Litecoin and Ethereum Classic are at the 78.6% retracement. We're starting to see some reversals. So I believe Ethereum Classic will hold above 32, go the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, and go all the way to 195. Okay, these are really just being used as evidence of, a larger cycle higher than I'm expecting across crypto. Let's look at Marathon Patent Group, because I think this is a really important one. Remember, we have evidence from the options market. Marathon Patent Group is going to have a huge move. We do not have a guarantee that move will be to the upside, but the options market is telling you that we're going to be moving for Marathon Patent Group. And remember, the bar chart, straddle, and strangle screener, this filters for pretty high open interest. You have to have pretty high open interest to be on the bar chart, long straddle, and long strangle screener. That's why it's more useful than just using low IV rank and percentile. This is somewhat of a smart money indicator because you have to have pretty high open interest to make the bar chart, long straddle, and long strangle screener. Anyway, Marathon Patent Group's been on that screener a lot recently. I believe it will go the length of wave 1, subdivided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves, placed at the wave 2 low, and I believe it's going to go to 75. I believe if you're a crypto bull, the Marathon Patent Group chart is the most important chart for you. You make sure 18 holds and wave 2 is in. Then the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, says Marathon Patent Group is heading to La La Land. Okay, it's going to replicate and even dwarf this rally. Go the length of wave 1, place at the wave 2 low, and reach 75. Another one in that same vein is Riot Blockchain. Riot Blockchain looks pretty damn good. This is the wave 1. We have an A, B, C correction where the length of wave A placed at the wave B high is where wave C is ending. I believe Riot Blockchain will go the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 2 low, and it will reach 98. Now, here's what's interesting about Riot Blockchain. This whole rally from $2.35 all the way to 79 cents, this takes about 6 months. So that's why I think that replicating these rallies by the first quarter of 2022, within the first quarter of 2022, may end up being conservative. Riot Blockchain has evidence it could be quicker than that. Because in Elliott wave theory, the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low is a conservative wave 3 target in time and price. But just like Marathon Patent Group, crypto bulls want to make sure Riot holds above 20, and it will go the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. So that's crypto. I just want to make sure that we cover Ripple real quick. I don't think Ripple's a great opportunity, because it's so volatile. I mean, my kind of followers knew below 25, 30 cents, we were hitting the hammer, when we were being laughed at, right? Because the SEC was investigating Ripple. But obviously, large institutions were accumulating it. It's gone up 500, 600%. I'm not sure I like it at 64 cents. I think Litecoin and Ethereum and Bitcoin might be better opportunities. I like the miners a lot. But Ripple, I think, is a lot of evidence. Just like Litecoin, gorgeous wave 1. Wave 2, connect the beginning of wave 1 with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2. Ripple has a gorgeous reaction on the median of the pitchfork. Reaction on the lower bound. Reaction on the lower bound. Now we're going to the median of the pitchfork. I don't believe Ripple's wave 3 will end until it goes all the way to the median of the pitchfork. We can see with our own eyes, that's going to be well above the kind of conservative wave 3 target, the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low, all the way to 3.40. Okay, so that's crypto. I just want to make sure we have the primary projection for the market right now. This is the primary projection for the stock market. The S&P 500, there's 2 paths that take it past 460. The cleanest count right now for a major index is the Dow Jones ETF DIA. Okay, it will go the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low. If it's above 331 with the 50% retracement of 324 acting as the invalidation, then I expect DIA will go the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. It will go on a 5th wave higher, and by the end of this quarter, it will reach 383.